Okay, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. This year, we're celebrating our 2-year anniversary. We've been going on the air for 2 years, running all these podcasts. We have over 70 something drops, and it's been going for 2 years. First up, we want to shout out to our sponsors, especially Defend Hawaii. They've been sponsoring us since the very, very beginning. They've been supporting us. They've been giving me fresh gear to wear, reposting all our videos and our tags. So shout out to Defend Hawaii. If you go on their website, go to defendhawaii.com. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, and you'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Shout out to Chris Meheula and Mike B for supporting the podcast for these last 2 years. We definitely appreciate you. Second, we have iRep Detail Supply. If you go to irepdetailsupply.com, use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout. First, check out what they have. They have a whole bunch of waxes, polishes, soaps, anything you need to detail your car that'll make your car looking brand new. They also have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center. If you go down there, shout out to Kaika Rapun. He also been supporting our podcast from the get. They've been coming on to our show and reposting and supporting the podcast for the last 2 years. So shout out to irepdetailsupply.com. Next, we have hawaiicandyfactory.com. Go check out their website. They have a whole bunch of crazy snacks. Anything you need for your munchies. They have lihimui gummies, nerds, anything you need that's candies, local style. They also do have a kiosk in Ala Moana Shopping Center. So go to hawaiicandyfactory.com. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, and you'll receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Okay, so this week we don't have a guest. We're celebrating our 2-year anniversary. It's been 2 years since we started, and I just wanted to really thank everybody for tuning in to our show, all our guests for coming on and sharing their stories and their aloha and their good vibes with us. Also, for everybody that tuned in to watch our videos on Olelo and as well as on the YouTube channel. It's been a crazy 2 years, and how this thing got started was back in the day. I was talking to my friends about wanting to do a podcast, and over time it was just kind of like a dream, or it was just me wishful thinking and hoping maybe one day I'll start it, and it was something I always wanted to do. It wasn't until my best friend, or one of my best friends, DJ Hoppa Boy Taylor, was on somebody else's podcast, and he was congratulating that host for getting his podcast started. And well, here, take a listen to it. This is what he said, and it got me super motivated.
I've had a lot of friends tell me they're going to do podcasts, and I'm still waiting.
So after he said that on that person's podcast, it motivated me to actually get started and doing something that I really wanted to do. And it wasn't easy. I had to figure it out all on my own. I had some help from Skylar from the Madhouse podcast, who gave me kind of a little bit of instruction and kind of gave me an avenue to where I could get started. And it started with obviously I had to figure out a name. So because I had no clue what to call it, I kind of came up with this concept, and it was kind of cool in my opinion. When I grew up, there was a walk bridge by my house, and every day I would go over there and hang out with friends, and we'd fish, and there's a river, so we would go down there and throw rocks and play and do all that kind of thing. And as I grew older, I would still go there and have a beer with friends and just talk story. And to this day, so my concept for the podcast was I wanted to have the same kind of organic conversations I did with my friends at the bridge on the podcast. So what I did was kind of named the podcast Above the Bridge, because that's the concept. We're having conversations above the bridge. I wanted to call it On the Bridge, but that was already taken. So I above the bridge was it. And then we got our logo created. Next thing I had to figure out was how to put the podcast so that people can get it. And I use this podcasting platform called Buzzsprout. So Buzzsprout, what it allows you to do is you upload your feed to Buzzsprout, and then it goes to all the links like iHeartRadio. Apple Pod is probably the biggest podcasting platform that's being used by Above the Bridge podcast listeners. So Above the Bridge podcast, you can find it everywhere because of Buzzsprout. So it goes to iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you can find podcasts, our podcast will be on there. So I figured out how to do that, and then I got it going. Um, I figured out, okay, I'm gonna need to have a video source, so I created the YouTube channel, and that was pretty fairly easy. YouTube was kind of user friendly, and that got going. Next, I had to do was I wanted to have a website so people could check it out. It also legitimizes your brand. It's easy to tell people, oh, just go to my website, atbpod.com. So for the first time, I created a website, and I used this brand called Wix.com, and it's kind of more of a user friendly, templated website where you can kind of create the website you want by picking and choosing and uploading pictures and seeing how you want it. But it was the first time I ever made a website, and I'm kind of proud of it. To this day, I'm pretty stoked that I have a website. So if you go atbpod.com, check it out. It has a bio, a little bit of background about me. Um, it also has all our videos and all the audio for all the podcasts, and I showcase the podcast of the week so you can listen to it on that as well. So I created the website, got everything on Buzzsprout, so I had all the things lined up to put it out there. Next thing I needed was somebody to help me with video because I have no idea how to do the video. I had no way of knowing how to record and things. So I talked to my friend John, boy band John, who was somebody I knew for a while, and I reconnected with him, and he was on board to help me out with getting this podcast started. So I hit up boy band John. Shout out to boy band John. He's one of the hugest producers for Olelo, and he helped me get this thing started because he was adamant that we needed video, and he produced and edited the show for the first probably year and a half. So he's been the one that kind of helped put us on the map. He got us on Olelo, and he produced it from scratch, and everything you see for the first maybe year and a half was all edited by boy band John. And without John, there would have been no way I could have even got this project off the ground. So shout out to boy band John. Thank you very much. Oh, you know how much you mean to me and how much you helped me get this thing started. Unfortunately, boy band John got promoted and he couldn't help produce the show anymore. So fortunately, I learned how to edit, and that's another thing that I want to talk about. I had no idea how to edit, and I knew somebody who did, and that's DJ Hoppa Boy. DJ Hoppa Boy produced his father's show Tiny TV for years, and he did all our Artist Groove Network video club videos for like forever. And he has a video production company. So I asked him at first, like, oh, what can I do to edit my own show? And he said, oh, just try use iMovie and figure it out for there. And so I got to kind of learn how to use iMovie. If you could tell which videos I edited because the quality isn't as good as when boy band John was editing. So from then I kind of outgrew iMovie, and throughout this whole time I was learning through YouTube, and any questions I had, DJ Hoppa Boy would help me figure it out and give me tricks and tips to help me understand how to do this. So I outgrew iMovie, and he talked me into getting a program called Final Cut Pro 10. So I got Final Cut Pro 10, and it was like night and day. It's like going from Cartoon Network to reality. It was that much of a difference where I could do a lot more. It's a lot more professional, and it took a lot of learning, and I'm still learning. And I mean, it's been cool, and it's always cool when you get to learn something new. For me, this is kind of a huge deal because I mean, I haven't done anything like this ever. So I would call up Hoppa, and he would help me and give me tips, tricks, and how to make things easier and faster. And to this day, he's a phone call away. So I appreciate DJ Hoppa Boy for helping me out, getting me getting me to understand how to video edit. So this week on Above the Bridge podcast, I didn't want to have a guest. I wanted to kind of go down memory lane for the last 2 years and kind of bring back some funny clips and moments I had with a lot of my guests. And I thought it'd be something cool to just put it all together. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. These are the last 2 years funny moments from Above the Bridge podcast.
That was our media.
Yeah, I was basically going around the club with my flashlight and the flip cam and catching all the naughty stuff.
Oh, that if that hard drive could see
dude,
the light of day.
I have something on everybody in the night industry. Just kidding.
Hey, that's what we can do for like if this pandemic keeps going on, we just blackmail people. Like, remember that video from Tsukiji's and a while ago? Yeah, that's gonna cost you about 2 G's, or we're gonna post it.
That's the only way I make money. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't have anything bad.
Well,
I do have
right.
crazy footage though, and our journeys and adventure of our club life. It's cool that has been documented.
When we were the BBC, the new generation, we actually got signed to Epic Records. Very cool.
Wow.
So Maurice Starr, he is the creator of New Edition and New Kids on the Block.
Oh, wow.
So what happened? Oh, cool.
Hey, Patricia Ford right there. She's one of my kickboxing students.
No way.
Yeah. Try holding mitts for her in a sports bra. I got hit in the face a couple times. Okay, go ahead with your story. Sorry.
So what happened is Matt Young, I remember this very clearly. I remember him coming to us and saying, who should I bring down? Will to Power or New Kids on the Block? And we said, New Kids on the Block. And when he brought New Kids on the
farthest stall, and I was passing the first stall, and I guess the guy in the first stall couldn't open the door, so he flung it open as hard as he could, and that thing just smashed me right in the face.
Oh my God.
And immediately it started to swell up. The guy was so apologetic, but I was kind of mad. And then one of the bouncers, I think Foa, came in, and he said, "Right, you good?" And I'm like, okay, I cannot let this escalate. He's gonna see me in here with a big thing on my head, and this was a white guy, and I'm thinking, okay, Foa's just gonna mash him, because you know how the bouncers are.
Was a married couple propositioned me to go home with them, and the wife did. The wife came up to me and was like, "I've been watching you all night. I think you're so gorgeous. You know, me and my husband were on vacation here. We want to know if you want to come back up to our hotel with us." Thank you so much, but I think I'm good. Like, I just didn't even know what to say. Like,
because of the success you guys had on Wednesdays, the Dave and Buster's chain started Wednesday club events on all their chains throughout the United States.
How's that one? Crazy.
That's crazy. Like,
and then Wednesdays people never really. Me and you, because you had the after hour spot.
Yeah.
We made Wednesday popular forevermore. After that, everybody would just, it's Wednesday night. What's going on? David Buster's, blah, blah, blah. It was always like that. So we put Wednesday on the map, and then we put David Buster's on the map worldwide. And it all started off with a small little birthday party that turned out to be raging out of control. And David Buster's called me and goes, "Hey, can you throw more parties here?" We're good.
Yeah.
Gotta make one virtual party. Virtual party.
Virtual party.
Virtual party, $5.
$5 to join the Zoom.
First 10 girls free. First 10 girls free.
When you were Santa Claus, since it's Christmas time.
It's almost Christmas time. I left mid-party, went to the parking lot, changed my outfit into a Santa costume, somehow acquired 2 women on each arm going back to the event.
This long line, and you walked in front of everybody, and you had these 2 hot girls on each arm. And I'm just like, what's going on? And he's in his Santa suit. And then I think we found you in the bushes with the Santa suit.
I later had sex in the Santa suit that night. Yes.
That's the one.
I later had sex in the Santa suit right outside the club. That happened.
In the bushes. And we seen it. And
bushes, it was like towards the bushes. I was a single young man at an event that we were throwing. And somebody wanted to have sex with Santa Claus, so I obliged.
Merry Christmas.
You
had the smoked meat, you had all the pizza, the pasta. Like, I can do that. I can get that. What I was jealous most about that video is at the beginning of it, you walk to Brick Oven Pizza and you high-five the awning that holds the sign. Yeah. God, I didn't see that. I was like, I remember when I was a little kid, that used to be Blockbuster, and I used to run and jump for touch the thing. For years, I couldn't touch it. And you didn't walk, and you just went, pop. You just hit him with your hand. I'm like, motherfucker.
I was wondering if anybody was gonna pick up on that. I was like,
yo,
I'm just gonna whack this real quick.
I picked up on it. Because that used to be Blockbusters. I would run in full sprint and try and hit that thing. When I don't know, man. I think I can graze them by now. We're in good hop, but wow. You just was like, pop. And I'm like, holy shit, bro. You just living my dream. It was kind of a skit where you dressed up as Rihanna, the singer. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes.
So
that's my claim to fame, man. That was like the only time I was ever. That was like the only ever time I was on TV.
So if people watch this video, like the best part about this video was how serious you took the role and how believable you made it. But the outtakes was the best because you got slam danced by Micah Banks. Do you remember?
Well, a couple times, yes. He actually hit me. And he actually like threw me into your tub, and I like
smash your head against the wall.
No, it was a tub. He like tripped me, and I smashed the right side of my eye into the actual tub. See, I have a scar over there, Michael Banks.
My truck, my honey put my license plate cover behind Showtime in the front and the back. I thought I'd take the one off in the back because sometimes I don't like be so quiet.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way. If you don't get that shocker, that's it. I get all nuts.
The shock. Even if you almost bang and hit somebody, kill somebody, you go out your window. So sorry, but you know what? Don't even worry, bro. Have a good day. It's okay. Don't even worry about me. I'm good. But you did that, we cherry. Literally, it's very powerful, especially the way you show the shocker too. Like bang, hey, how's it? You can feel them already. You know what I mean? Well, if you go like that, depending how you do it, there's all different gestures that do so much without even seeing. The shocker is very powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe in it. So people, please use it because we appreciate it. There you go.
Hell
see,
yeah.
Down right there, Hammer.
Yeah, the no shocker is the worst. Like you let them in and
yeah, or what are you, a Nazi? Don't put your hand up like that. Just
ever bad.
That's what everybody says, and I kind of like in the clubs. I didn't want to, just for one, like to be honest, like if you're a promoter and you dance with a girl in the club, that's putting it out there, and that's also welcoming a whole bunch of hate from all the other girls. So I would always say I'm working. And two, the main reason, the number one reason is I can't dance for shit.
Same thing for me, but that actually never never stopped me before. I don't mind look like an idiot. I mean, when I'm that intoxicated, if I'm dancing, I'm certainly.
But you messed up because that night that you were fucked up in Kauai,
Yeah.
I did dance.
Did you really?
Nobody I knew was there.
First, second, third, and eighth place came with me to Blue Tropics after that.
Oh, the monkey bar. That's Mikey's spot.
And I'm pretty sure Hanson got us in, bro. I'm pretty sure it was Hanson. Right by the stage, the dance floor had that little like game room.
Mikey's little game.
Yeah. That's where we were hanging out, bro.
Yeah.
Right after that concert, Jasmine and Diana were still 17, so it was like super like lit for them. They're like,
oh yeah.
God. We're in the club. Thank you, Jonah.
So you basically just admitted that Hanson let in some undas.
Oh, no, wait. I was trying to say Hanson let in some stuff. That would be,
Allegedly.
I wanted to know, like, say I were to subscribe to your OnlyFans, would you be able to know that that's me?
Only if you use your name. Other than that, it's like user, it like creates one for you. So if you don't want me to know who you are, but if you want me to, you'll use your name. Sometimes I'm like, are you really going to use your real name?
I know you. You live down the street. We used to ride bike together. Fucking pervert. This whole time.
I'm like, hey, but there you go. It's like there's the market for it. You're welcome. I feel like it's a win-win because they're getting something they want, and yay me, I get paid for it.
What do you think, John? We should start up OnlyFans and see what kind of fucking pervs that hit us up. It's like your neighbor or something.
I was there at the game at Kailua, and Larry Price is talking about, Taylor Tadani and a cartouche by him, and he's, for his size, he's the TNT, and then they show me in the stands watching, and then here comes someone to interview me. I forgot if it was Jimmy the Geek or somebody, and they're going to ask me about Taylor. On the play before they come to me, the wide receiver jukes him out, and he gets chasing the guy down like 80 yards. He gets thrown down.
He never told me that story.
I think it was something where, I don't know, it looked like the quarterback was going to get sacked, so he was going in, and then the wide receiver went out. But it was kind of classic.
So he got burnt right before they were going to interview you. Yeah, he left that story out. He never told me that one.
I'm seeing a wedding, and I had released the bridal party. This is right before we started the actual program. So I caught a 10-minute. Bruh, two of the bridesmaids are outside drunk. They passed out. One of the groomsmen is trying to jump in the pool with his tuxedo. One of the other groomsmen is down the street. We're trying to, and I'm literally like, fuck this. I need to go see this shit for myself. The two bridesmaids are gone, like totally belligerently drunk. One is holding onto something. The other one is face planted on the ground. I seen 5 of the friends come running out, like literally blasting out of the reception, running down the escalator. So I'm Mr. Niele. I go run after them. Their friend is having a bad trip on something, swearing, screaming, trying to take off his clothes. Like he literally is like in his boxers on the street, ready for fight somebody. And everybody's like, what the fuck is going on?
Now you're a radio talent. Like, how do you like being someone like on the radio all the time? Do you get recognized? Do people like see you out and stuff like that?
I'm not really sure because with COVID, it's just a little bit more strange because you're wearing your mask everywhere too. So I don't really get the recognition thing. Yeah,
I'm over
the
mask
story. I was out one time at Moani's, and this was a while ago. I had my 2 kids with me, and there was this girls. There was a group of girls kind of standing by this table, kind of where we were by. They were looking at me. The one girl was staring at me, and I was like, "Oh man, tell me she's like," because I got my kids in here with me. So she kept staring at me. So finally I got her. I was like, what? What's up? And then she was like, she came up to, like, I was all mad already, right? I was like, what? What's up? And then she came up to me. She's like, I'm so sorry. Were you the girl on the radio? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yes, it was. It is me. I apologize.
He's ready for action. The fuck you looking at? How did your parents take you trying to be a comedian? And
It was supportive. My dad's a pretty funny guy, so I remember telling them like I was gonna, start doing comedy, and it was a little shocked but excited to see like, oh, that's kind of weird, and now they're like the best, supporting parents ever.
So your dad was an athlete as well. He played football, and
So
what, he is coaching you and all that kind of stuff too.
For football, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Lots of yelling when I was growing up, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the way home after one Pop Warner game, oh, that's it. Yelling on top of his lungs. He reached for the radio, turned on the music. I flinched like that. Oh.
It's like how your parents, like they my dad was the same. Like they don't remember all the good stuffs you did during the game.
They don't.
But
They don't. They just pick out the bad things. And he always tells me that. He goes, I just pick it on this for you, just to make you a better person. Like, Dad, I know we just won the championship, bro. Relax.
So I'm looking over the wall, bro, and somebody was dressed as Blanca. And I'm still a little kid, so these fuckers was real to me, like. So, bro, I'm looking down, I'm like, oh, and I remember, he was, bro, to the T, the orange hair, everything, green body. So I was like, and I told my dad, I was like, Dad, Blanca's downstairs. And he was like, son, no, it's just the kind that's uncle of somebody. I was like, in my head, because I'm thinking, fuck that, you lie. That's Blanca. That's Blanca, Dad. So I remember going down. So Blanca was just walking around the haunted house in circles.
Lurking, waiting for you.
So we get on the basketball court, and he's right there, cuz I start bawling. I start fucking everybody look at me like, this Anu, what the fuck you crying? I was like, no, Blanca. I was like, oh my God. As I got, my cousin still, you remember Blanca? I was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, you're gonna have a malfunction. It's gonna be a rat chewing on the wire.
You know what? There was a place that I played at downtown on Fort Street Mall. Spaz and I used to do this party there. And I saw a rat like the size of a fucking cat, bro, like come out. So there was the stage that we're on, and across from us, there's like another raised area where you could sit down, and there were tables. And this rat went from underneath the stage that I was on, underneath there. And then back again, like the dude was just like cruising. And I was like, yo, this is a little much. I told Spaz and his homie Warren, I was like, bruh, if I get bit by one of these rats, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, downtown, they're guaranteed to get rats, 100%.
Ran about 8 months, give or take. So there was quite a lot of noses being swabbed, quite a lot of testing.
Right, some guys, they counting, they come up to us and, oh, this is test number 73. I'm just like, bro, why are you even counting that, dude?
But some of them, I feel bad, they work on other shows. So they work on Magnum or, NCIS is the other one, Hawaii 5-0. So they get tested all the time through every different show. So their noses must just be all big, bored out, swabbed out.
Bruh, some of those guys too, but I know they do cocaine because, I stick that thing up their nose and, bruh.
No, don't do this one, do this one.
Little bit residue come out on the tip.
Sometimes you get stuck and you're like, what is this?
Oh, boogers, bruh. How much boogers came out when I was doing them? And you try to be cool. I was like, brother, that's your fucking boogers.
My very first meeting of you was, I was calling downstairs, they let me upstairs, and the door opened, and then you had your shirt torn off halfway. That was my first time ever really officially meeting you. Like
that was a bad night.
Party was raging, so it was and it was memorable. And I told the boys, we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I got punched by a girl. I had 2 girls beefing in the back. One got kicked out. They ripped my shirt. And then you guys came up, and I'm just like, fuck. What's up, guys?
I know. I was like, oh, hey, thanks for inviting us. Like, I'll take care of your stuff. And kind of just stayed for like half an hour. We said hi to Rue Dog. We said hi to the regular, the couple people. And then we went on to the next spot to say hi to everybody else. And for that night, we could bounce around. But on the way down, I was like, we're going to do an event with this guy. That was the best.
Yeah, I got to spend some time in Baltimore. That was great. Bro, so get this. So in my locker at Damien, I had this big poster of Ray Lewis.
Oh, that was
You know
gonna
what
be
I
my
mean?
next
And
question.
so,
Yeah.
you know, and then walking in there and seeing him for the first time, I'm like, okay, you got Jesus and you got Ray Lewis. That's how I felt. You know what I mean? But when this guy talks, like it's like you talk about people who have that special gift to speak. Oh, Dad, I'm not even joking, but this guy makes you want to run through a wall. You know what I mean? Just cause, you know what I mean? He's asking you to get him a cup of water, but you want to run through a wall. You know what I mean? Like he just has that power in his voice. I remember watching film with him at his house. You know, we're watching practice and we're watching the same thing over and over. I'm talking about like the same play like 50 times. And then he looks back at me, he goes, CB, what do you see? I said, Ray, the same 50 plays you just kept playing back. He goes, no, look at the guard on this play. Look at the way the quarterback puts his hands on. Look at the way the quarterback looks to his right. Look at the way the guard puts his left hand down. I'm like, holy smokes. I never, ever could ever see that guy.
Was my riot in the UFC was when I fought Tank. So when I fought Tank Abbott, I finished the fight. I cut him open because he kept on trying to wrestle me. I wanted to box him, but he kept on trying to wrestle and take me down, you know? So right after I cut him open, the ref checked him, you know, the doctor stopped the bleeding, asked him, you all right? I cannot see, you know? John McCarthy came up to me. He's like, young blood, you just made this guy give up. He doesn't want to fight you. He's saying over there he cannot see it. Doctor stopped the bleeding, this and that, you know? So you're going to be the winner of the fight. I was like, okay. Boom. So when he went and then he asked Tank again, Tank said he couldn't see. So John McCarthy waved it off. Right there, I was like, I had to bust on my cabbage patch because that was like the biggest fight of my career. You know what I mean? So I did the cabbage patch and the camera was on me. They didn't see Tank's corner guy flip me off and whip the water bottle at me. And that's what made me go from doing the cabbage patch and showed me going, fuck you, you know?
Yeah, I see.
And then,
I remember that.
Tank guy's corner tried to rush me, and like I had so much guys that had love for me. Like there were guys from the fucking crowd jumping over the cage trying to back me up, you know? Like that big white guy that jumped over the kind of shaved head white guy.
Yeah.
Right, he jumped over. We don't even know who he was. You know what I mean? Chuck Liddell didn't know who he was. So Chuck was in my corner. You know what I mean? My dad was in the ring when the whole thing went off. My dad was like, "I'm out of this fucking shit." He went out. My dad was out of the cage. Like we almost had like big riots and shit like that. You know, so that was crazy. Like I'm surprised they didn't put anything into motion to stop that after that happened. You know, like.
Oh, yeah.
Like when it happened with Khabib and Conor, you know, that huge little commotion afterwards. After that, had that little riot with me, I'm surprised they never took steps into motion to like, into precautions.
So me and my friends, we play this game. It's called Deal or No Deal. Basically, it started because all of us like to say dumb shit. So after a while, we started this game to where if we say something and somebody deals you, you have to do it. We were at the shop and my homie said something about like tattooing his nuts. And our other friend was like, deal. And I was like, what? I was like, why would you make that? And he was like, you're going to do it. And I was like, well, I don't care. I know who I am, bro. I ain't afraid to tattoo no nuts. And they were like, deal. And I was like, nah, bro. So we ended up setting up. There's a video somewhere, man. And I couldn't even get myself to tattoo for like 5 minutes because I couldn't stop laughing because he had his boxers on and he was bat winging it out of the side. Trying to stretching his bags out, man. We ended up just putting D apostrophe S on top of his bag, so it says D's nuts. And he passed away, man. So they were
from tattooing his nuts.
No.
You killed him.
For some other stuff, but. They were talking about his funeral and shit, man. I was like, dude, and it was crazy because when he passed away, I was at the hospital that night, and you know it was kind of shitty how we saw him and everything. But when we left, everybody's all sad. They're in my car, I'm driving, and I just started laughing, and everybody's like, "Why are you laughing?" They're kind of mad at me, right? And I was like, "Cause can you imagine when the coroner sees his nuts?" Everybody in the car started laughing. I was like, bro, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't even know how it happened. I mean, that's how it happened, but it just kind of rolled downhill. Next thing you know, I had nuts in my hand, tattooing.
That's nuts, bro. It's a nuts story.
I did one of the most infamous ones, if you remember. I did two live crew and DJ Cool. You remember that night?
I heard about that night. I didn't go.
Yeah, the two Live Crew girls gave DJ Cool's DJ a blowjob in front of fucking 2,000 people.
Oh, I do remember that.
That was a Pro Bowl weekend. I did that, sold out. I was like, it was great. I thought I was going to jail. I swear, I thought I was going to jail. I swear to God, for nudity and lewd act. And I was like, oh my God.
So live porno.
Yeah, all porno. I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, first of all, now all of the two Live Crew dancers are butt naked. And then all of a sudden, DJ Cool's DJ sitting on the DJ pad, just watching them dance while they're placing fruits like cherries into their private parts and spitting them into cups in front of 2,000 people. And then next thing you know, they're giving that guy the BJ.
I'm going to go way back. I'm going deep into my archives. John Wayne.
Oh, wow.
So John Wayne came to Kuilima. So back then was Del Webb. So Del Webb, the developer, and the wife, they had, they were Vegas people, right? They had big shows out there. They invited Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, and I was the breakfast cook at that time upstairs in the Tiki restaurant. Okay. And the waitress came back and said, Mr. Wayne wants crispy bacon, but not oily. And he wants eggs over easy and dried toast. So, man, I wasn't nervous whatsoever because I was already cooking. So I got the bacon on the grill. I put the weight on top to get it real crispy. Then I got some paper towel. Then I put it in between. I absorbed all the oil. Then I cooked the eggs over easy, just perfect, because I got trained really well by Filipino breakfast cook from Ilikai. Domi de Guzman, he taught me how to cook eggs. And I cooked the eggs, made sure it wasn't oily. And I told the waitress, make sure that toast is hot. When the toast is done, this plate goes out. And he went out, and you know what's funny, right? So he had his big cowboy hat on. He was sitting on a corner. So I came out. I didn't go out to see him, but I went and, looked at him, and he looked up. He saw me. And, cowboy style, you nod your hat. You nod your head with the hat. He did that, and the waitress came back with the napkin, and he said, "Thank you very much, chef. Perfect eggs, perfect bacon." Yeah,
that's awesome.
But,
I wasn't expecting you to say his name. I'm shocked. That's kind of an awesome story. I've seen the video. It was on ESPN where you got to punch the heavyweight champ Francis.
Yeah.
That thing went viral too, man.
That took me. I think I was only at like 2,000 something followers maybe, and then that took me to like over 4,000 something. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Cool. I was like, wait a second. I seen it. It was on Sports Center, and
it was super viral, like super viral.
And you're like flushing them too.
Yeah, bro. They just called me and just like, yo, punch him. I'm like, all right, as hard as I can. Yeah. I'm like,
what if he broke his rib, bro?
Bro, I would have been the heavyweight champ.
Yo.
Yo.
For sure, huh?
Bro. But I made him tap with 2 shots.
I knew about spam, because my dad, every great once in a while he would pull out like spam. And I remember looking at it like, what is that block of what is it? Like it doesn't look like any it doesn't look like any meat that I know about. And then like and so it's like something that kind of like poorer people would eat, you know what I mean? Like you don't have chicken or steak or anything else. And I was like, and then I come to Hawaii and they're like, Spam Jam, and they're like, it's actually on the menu at McDonald's. I'm like, what?
It's like, in plastic cases at Walmart now.
And they're like, here, man, this is awesome. It's a block of rice with a piece of spam on top of it. I was like, no.
So Junk in a Pole, if I win, you gotta ride the Incredicoaster.
Fine.
And if you win, I gotta sit in the front row of Splash Mountain.
Wait, 2 out of 3?
2 out of 3?
Yeah.
Junk. Yeah, you slow hand. You gotta do them same time.
I am. I'm legit following your hand.
Ready?
Yeah.
Junk and a Po.
Yeah! You legit cheated.
One for me.
You legit cheated. My hand was like this, and you just waited like this, and then you gave
That's
another
lag. That's internet lag. That's one for me, Daddy.
That is not one for you.
Oh yeah! Someone's
You
riding the
legit
Incredicoaster.
coaster. You cheated. I'm
So when
just
you're
letting you know.
riding the Incredicoaster, are you gonna sit in the front row or are you gonna sit in the back
No.
row?
We're gonna do this after this because the lag was very mega. Like
I
my
don't- I
hand was
didn't
already
see
like
lag.
this, and you went like that. Or no,
I
no,
don't-
you
I
went
don't
like
think so.
this.
I don't think
I
so.
think so.
I don't think so. I have it on. I have it being recorded. BBJ, are you recording this? There's no lag, right? That was legit win, huh?
I don't know. We gotta check the tapes.
We gotta check the tape.
Yeah, Daddy, you gotta check the tapes.
All right. Whoa, that was fun. Yeah, for these last 2 years, I enjoyed talking to all my guests. It was a lot of fun moments, some emotional and some heartfelt. I learned a lot. The biggest thing that I get to do with these podcasts is get a uninterrupted conversation with a lot of cool people, and it's been fun, and I hope you guys been enjoying it as much as I have. There are some people that I want to thank that helped me through the last 2 years. Obviously, Boy Band John, who put me on the map and gave me the opportunity to even start this thing. DJ Hoppa Boy, who motivated me and helped get the fire started and called me out on my own bullshit, to be honest, to actually get this thing off the ground. I got a lot of support from a lot of close friends from Defend Hawaii, Chris Meheula. He's been going out of his way to like I said, to repost all our content and keeping me fresh in the freshest gear. Thank to all my sponsors as well. I Rep Detail Supply, Kaika Rapoon, Cody, and the people at Hawaii Candy Factory. Want to thank Sage Adams from New Auto, who also helped get the fire started for me to start this thing. I got a lot of support from all my family and friends. Sasha, I want to thank Sasha for believing in me and helping me through this and picking up my daughter and stuff when I had to record. So thank you to her. Also, my daughter, who was a guest on my show a few times, which I do want to have her on every single year for our Christmas episode. She's been really supportive, and a lot of you don't know, but I would say about 95% of all the episodes she's in my studio listening to me record, so she gets to see what Daddy's doing. Thank you to all my friends, Jaren Chun, Frankie, Mark, Big Taylor, shoot, everybody that supported the podcast. Shout out to Tomani, who's been a somebody who listens almost on a weekly basis. Also want to shout out my sister guys, Heidi, and all the support we get from anybody who reposted it. Donnie does it every single week. Hanson from Level H and Level V, he's been a huge supporter of the show, and everybody who has tuned in over the past 2 years, I can't thank you enough, and for all the feedback and the aloha that's been shown to me. It's been a kind of a passion project of mine, and yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Let's see, for the next 2 years, I don't know what to expect. We're gonna do things a lot bigger, a lot better. I want to get a lot more mainstream guests on, and we're working on that. Kind of want to change up the design and stuff. Hopefully by January. I'm looking forward to having a lot more great conversations with a lot more great people. And anybody listening to this, go check out our website, go check out our YouTube, go check out our podcast if you missed any episodes. Thank you again for supporting me for these past 2 years. It really means a lot. anybody that was supporting this podcast for the last 2 years, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. To all my guests, thank you for coming on and sharing your aloha with me. And yeah, can't wait to see what this next year is gonna be like. All right, you can always find us, like I said, on Instagram, Above the Bridge Podcast. If you go on our YouTube page, Above the Bridge Podcast, our website is atbpod.com, and you can also find me on Instagram, Thaddy Daddy Hi. All right, well, thank you very much, and shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.